Hello, everybody. Welcome to a check-in, casual conversation with hospitality leaders. So it's every 2 or 3 weeks. And today I am super happy to have someone who has tremendous passion for what she does, amazing knowledge as well. And we are with Carmen Cruz today. Hello, Carmen.
Hi, Pierre. How are you? It's been a while. I'm so happy to see you.
It's been too long, and I'm very happy to see you.
It's been too long. Yeah.
So thanks to technology, thanks to Zoom, I'm not working with Zoom, but thank you, Zoom. We're going to be able to learn about your past that is very interesting in the hospitality industry, very different as well. And I think that people who are watching us are going to learn a lot from you today. Carmen, do you mind if I introduce you in 30 seconds? Then people know a bit of who you are.
Yes, absolutely.
So Carmen Cruz, you are from Barcelona. And I have a very nice background that I would like to put of this fantastic and beautiful city, if I can find it. So you're from Barcelona, and where you've been in the industry for nearly 3 decades in the hospitality management and leadership. You've been in the Bay Area for the close to 20 years. I know that you went to Southern California, then Northern California, but right now you are in Northern California. So 20 years in California. You studied in Barcelona. You got a BA in hospitality and restaurant management. You studied as well with Cornell University, revenue management, and you have as well a BA with UC Berkeley. You speak Spanish, French, Italian, and basic German. You have very interesting career path, as I was just briefly noted. You work from select services to full services, from boutique hotel to large hotel chain, Hilton. You worked in different countries, in Europe and in the US. And today you are the founder of Lead by Passion, which is transforming leaders, increasing performance, and fulfilling lives. And we'll talk about it later on. And you are as well the VP of operations for Yakun International Hospitality Company. And is that more? And you are writing your first book on leadership as well. We'll talk about that as well.
Yes.
Is that introduction fairly accurate?
Yes. It just makes me realize that I've been doing this for a while, but hey, still having fun.
And that's important. And when I think of personally, I'm trying to find profiles that are very interesting. And when I think of you, I think of passion. That's the first thing when I was thinking of you. I was like, who is passionate about what they do? I was like, well, Carmen, you're on the top. And now, yeah, you are. And, creativity as well. I know that, when we work together, you were always trying to find solutions to everything. Mm-hmm. It seemed that nothing really stopped you. So on this, could you tell us, so you spent a lot of years in hospitality, you are still involved in the hospitality, but talking about creativity, it seems that it's something that is really deep in you and that brings you to start Lead by Passion. Can you tell us the road to lead to what you're doing now and what it is?
Yes. You want me to start with creativity? I think that for all of us, what I would encourage everybody is to kind of like look at your life and try to see the whispers in life, try to see those moments, what they are going to let you know that you are evolving constantly. And I think that that's what I really did. As I entered into the industry, was really an innate desire to understand the human condition. Human condition is what brought me to hotels and a very quick mind in business. So to me, it was merging both. was kind of like a perfect fit. As I go into the roles and enter the world of operations, because that's where I really, the bulk of my career is being in operations, then I really realized through the projects that operations is only the mean to achieve what we're here for, which is really create that spectacular experience. But what drove me was this passion that you can feel. It's a profound happiness, centeredness, understanding why am I here, and what do I want to do every day. And in the hotel industry, my intention, I drive my life by my intention. What is your intention today? What are you intending to create? And that has been the compass of my life. And when I go into the hotel side, I always wanted to, my intention was to create an experience for someone, to impact you in a way that makes you feel something. And what I was intending to do was expanding your experience. And that's where I realized that, I use, my mind was very different. I was an outside the box thinker immediately. And I love creativity. My career brought me to projects from building a hotel from scratch to rebranding, creating new brands, creating new services, brought me to the understanding that creativity is at the root of who I am. And creativity and innovation is actually the future of business, and the future, obviously, of the hotel industry that we have realized now through COVID, that we needed to bring that side of us. So I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah. Well, so did lead by passion, did you study lead by passion during the COVID period? Well, because COVID has been a big factor for people to rethink
Yeah.
what they are doing and how they are doing things.
It was prior to that period. I had been thinking about going out on my own as an evolution of my career, moving through the ranks to general managers, general manager position. The next level for me, I'm always very curious. I have a very curious mind. I don't stop learning. And that has always brought me to to the essence of everything. I always thought since I was a child, this planet, everything that we do in life, it's created by a human being and it's intended for a human being. But we don't pay attention to the human being, to this software. We get distracted by products, by technology, and then we forget that the beginning, the middle, and the end is the human being. So, and then our industry, the hotel industry, is human based, is fundamentally human. That's what it is. But for the longest time, I believe that as our industry has never been shaken as much as it has been before, with COVID. But before that, because I have been very, very invested in human potential, I have 30 years in the hotel industry, but at the same time, I came to the States because I was studying human potential, human evolution, neuroscience, quantum physics, consciousness and spirituality. So everything that involves the human. That's what people didn't know about me. And, what they knew is that Carmen has this constant energy. That is a very strong energy that I utilize very, very well for business and to inspire others. But, I have a whole 30-year background studying under a lot of very prominent people that allow me to merge both things. And that's where, brought me to 2019. When I finished 2019, I opened my latest creative project, which was an immersive wellness experience that actually gained an award as the most tech savvy and immersive wellness experience. I touch all corners of the well-being, starting from sleep to nutrition to fitness, holistic, everything was involved. And with very pioneer companies in the technologically advanced companies. And after I opened that, I thought, well, okay, what's next? I found out that my passion for the industry and my passion for leadership was very, very strong. I wanted to communicate what I had learned. And now I had proof of concept. The proof of concept that I was able to increase almost $200 ADR on a $400 ADR mark already. I had
Wow.
proof of concept. I had the proof of concept that when San Francisco was going into a downturn in 16, 17, 18, I was able to grow RevPAR by 13%. 11%, ADR growth year over year, $60, $70. How was I able to do that? It is precisely because I combine both items, and because I look at the business from the angle of the intention is how do you enhance that experience? The money and the operations are only a vehicle to create that. It's a mouthful answer.
No, it's good.
Ask me questions, because I don't, I know this is very different view for, I'm not your typical RGM. I never was, but I was not your typical director of operations or director of events or, never. But I think that what people are understanding today that I was able to see for a long time is that creativity will not come into a team that it's contrived, that is marked and very box. And numbers will do that, limitations will do that, and how have I used this energy to look at a P&L and look at us from a point of abundance, being an operator, the operations teams, we are able to maximize. I look at the operations as how do I maximize my benefit instead of saying, oh, operations cut cost or operations, a lot of steps. So all of that, I have a very holistic view on the operations. And then with my background of big hotels, small hotels, different countries, I am able to execute 100% every single time to a level that will bring you the results in service and in profits. But it's people, product, profit. That's the way, not the other way around.
Wow, very interesting. So I put I put in my background the document you emailed me. Sorry, I'm going to cover your picture.
Cover that picture because that's all there, and over here we're like.
By the way, Carmen, today I was wearing a kind of a bright shirt with some orange and everything because I know that you like colors.
I do.
And you're from Spain, and people from Spain love colors, and I love bright colors. So I tried to put a little bit of a fancy little dot blue and orange shirt.
You're French.
So the reason why I'm pointing this is because this is your company, Lead by Passion. And then you have 3 different sentences that really define who you are and what you're trying to do. Transforming leaders, increasing performance, and fulfilling lives. Could you tell us why you chose those words on those 3 sentences? And does this apply only to hospitality, or does this apply to any companies? Are you focusing on hospitality? Is that what you're thinking of when you put Lead by Passion?
Yes and no. Lead by Passion, I think you touched on the base that the reason why I call the company Lead by Passion is because, yes, everybody that has met me, they always say, where did you get your passion from? And it's that zest for life and comes from a profound happiness on believing in everything that I do. So I have passion for anything that I do. So that's the name. And then transforming leaders, increasing performance, fulfilling lives. It's really, it's a concept that came to me back in 2018, but I consider that I had not finished as a GM yet in the property that I was working at. Then I left in 2019. I left by summer 2019, and then I opened my company at the end of, by November, December. So transforming leaders, it comes from the fact that there is a transformation. I believe there's a transformation that needs to occur in leadership, and transforming the way we see the business and transforming ourselves, understanding who we are and how do we utilize our potential. Everybody has potentials. Finishing the getting away from your limited beliefs, because obviously, as what I have explained before, having a passion for human condition, hospitality allowed me to be in a pool of the human condition. I saw it from the customer standpoint of view. I saw it from my team members. I saw it from my vendors, and I saw it from the leaders that they were sit down on the table. And one thing that I noticed is that obviously leadership is not a behavior. It is a result of who you are today. It's a result of the way you think, the way you perceive life, your limited beliefs on your expansive beliefs. So that's why transforming leaders and making you understand you are a lot more that what you see, you have a potential, and investing my time in them, because in the organizations we spend a lot of time with our team members, but I believe that because we are so busy in our day-to-day, our leaders were not really spending the time to create that human behavioral understanding of who you are first in order to lead others. Increasing performance, because I understand. I've been a general manager. I mean, a business needs to make money. One thing that is not an either or for me. What I try to tell you is that everything is possible. You are able, if you take the three components, if you take the component of human potential, your capital, your human capital, investing on it in a way that's going to make an impact on your bottom line and on their lives. If you don't feel inspired and if you don't connect, if you don't contribute to a company, if you don't feel that you contribute, you will leave the company. All of us, I've done it. I only work for people that inspire me, for companies that inspire me, for projects that I think I can make an impact. But the next generations, millennials, Gen Zs, they will not work for a company that don't inspire them, for a leader. They don't have an aspiration. They don't create a meaning. You need to understand, a human being wants to connect, create, express the creativity, and contribute. If you don't use those four items, your teams start performing a little less and less and less and less. And that's what I found during 30 years. So I wanted to take everything that I learned and say, okay, guys, I can come in and help you from a leadership standpoint of view with your team that might be, very caught up in their day-to-day, in the tunnel vision, what they need to generate in terms of profits, and they might not be seeing the creativity and the possibility of create something new. I can come in and help them that way. I can come in and help you on a P&L standpoint of view. I can come in and help you creating a service experience. I am just one of you. I am a partner of you. But my passion is both in the business component of hotel industry and in the leadership component of it. And that leadership component, today, I'm able to offer that to other companies. Leadership is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the hotel industry, but obviously my passion. I have a tremendous passion and love for the industry that I'm in. And I want to continue innovating and bringing everything that I've learned from other industries, a lot more agile than us.
Yeah.
I think that we have noticed that in COVID. COVID has been forward what obviously, people that have been in the human potential industry like I've been, we already knew. We were very slow to adapt. Very slow to adapt. And, hotels to me today, Pierre, if you ask me, a hotel today or tomorrow, it is an extension of a lifestyle. That's what we are. We need to understand what extension of lifestyles. And we were not there a couple of years ago. So,
Do you think people, do you think leaders are more, or people in general are more adaptable now after the COVID, because everybody went through such a rough experience that you had to adapt and change your lifestyle and what you do. Do you think that now your message will resonate more to leaders? Do you think that
um,
change will happen quicker?
I hope so. I think that potentially what the people are going to understand is that is that utilize us. Utilize a bring help to your organization, because I think that all of us, realistically, whoever already knew about it, COVID has confirmed what we already knew. That's why the independent lifestyle luxury environment had the highest growth, because people were looking for experiences. That's what the new guest was looking for. People were looking for experiences. Um, the So in the independent space, they were already a little bit more there. In the branded world, maybe they were not as much, because they thought, my name is going to still carry. It's going to still carry my occupancy. It's going to still carry my marketing. It's going to still carry my brand. And we were not as agile. I would think that those organizations, what I have been a part of, they were not as agile.
So, because you had experience with not to name them, but the Hilton brand for quite a few years.
Of course.
And then you went to work for some much smaller company and for some very independent management group or properties, right? And one of them being here across the bay.
Yeah.
Beautiful property, by the way.
Yes.
So you're talking about agility. You were able were you able to fulfill yourself and your desire, your leadership, transformation a lot more in those independent than brands?
Yeah, that's, looking at my career, I started in 5 diamond boutique hotels in Barcelona. My first 8 years were back in Spain, and I was in the boutique, in the boutique side. Then when I came to the States, I wanted to learn the big boxes, the branded big boxes. What that allowed me to learn, what the big boxes will allow you to learn, and what Hilton does very well, Hilton, Marriott, it is the structure. You learn the structure. Now, I was a disruptor within the Hilton brand, because I came in, I learned, and then I tweak, and I made something very unique out of what they already had. That's the potentiality that at the time my mentor, saw, and saw that difference, that what made me a little different, because I already was utilizing my creativity to say, okay, well, my question is always, status quo, never. How can you make this better? Can you make this better? So then my mind doesn't go to the limitation, doesn't go to no, cannot be done. Is always thinking, how can I do this better if there's any way? And then I utilize that for the service component too. And then I was able to make a huge success within the Hilton brand in 2,000 room hotels, where customer service had never reached the levels that they reach, where employee satisfaction, I got 100% satisfaction in 4 departments that I was handling, 2 of them 100%, and the highest scores in front office. Why was that? It's because I was always connecting with the human, the human behind the team member. If you will come and work for me, I will ask you, what are you passionate about? What do you want to do? And I also will ask you, what are you looking for in this experience? That gives me a lot to play. And then I never forgive you, because I'm going to be creating something and coming back to you and interacting in a way that your potential starts increasing, and that you keep engaged. You keep engaged in what's happening. And because you are a part of it. I think I'm derailing a little bit of what you're asking,
No,
but
no, no, no. That's good.
when I look at my career and what I would ask everybody to do, I was very intentional, always trying to learn. I wanted to learn all the aspects of the business, the same as I've learned all the aspects of the human condition, because that is my product.
And you see, I saw that on my end because, you know, obviously I was coming to you as a vendor,
Yeah.
but I felt part of your team.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
And I don't say that to flatter you or to make you feel good, but that's the truth. And I think you were doing the same with your guest. I was seeing you interacting with your guest wherever you were going. Well, I can see that those guests felt part of the family right away when they were interacting with you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, the biggest compliment that I could get is when they would talk to me about my team. Or you know, when I became general manager, my first property, and I had a phenomenal project here in San Francisco because we actually, you know, transform a brand into an unbranded and open a very, you know, an independent upscale, which is, you know, I met you as well. Um, so to me, the first time that I received an email saying there is an energy in your hotel that I have not found anywhere, then you hit the jackpot, because that's what it's all about. You know, it was not about me. I always, you know, tell my teams, you are my face, you're my smile, you're my eyes, because I'm no longer there. I was there before, but I'm no longer there. So I think that's what's all about. How do you connect the intangible that you cannot pinpoint
Mhm.
and make that the tangible for a guest? So then going back into, you know, what we need to produce as general managers, it will translate into your P&L. It will, because people will search for that. Now, after COVID, I think it's very clear that as you asked the question, it's very clear that we have figured out that we were not as agile in the industry. We had not paid attention to what was happening in the culture. And you have to pay attention to that, because the culture and what our generations are doing, that's the future of hotels. We were not paying enough attention. We thought for the longest time that design was going to do it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Design,
Yeah.
and beautiful design was going to do it, because people are coming and they want to look, you know, beautiful things. That did it in the beginning. And that's what I'm bringing. You know, I don't know that I'm doing a good job, but what I'm bringing forward is the component that I had on human evolution. That's the key. You gotta look at the trends and see where are we evolving as humans. And in a business like ours, you gotta completely adapt to that. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when in 2016, 2017, I'm talking about wellness, it's the next stage of hotels. Well, let me tell you, it's a $4 trillion industry, 8 trillion today, and it's growing double that the global economy. Why am I saying that? Because you know I'm part of that, and I'm paying attention, constantly paying attention. When you have 5 generations working together, as they are working together in hotels right now for the first time, 5 generations, pay attention to the Gen Z, the millennial, the Gen X, all of them, because they are telling you the trends. And that's what you can bring to your hotel, and that's what makes the difference today. People want connection more than anything, Pierre. They are coming back to an industry that, quite frankly, I will challenge everybody to ask these questions within their teams and have great conversations. Why would I risk myself going to a hotel right now after a
Yeah.
pandemic, where I can go to an Airbnb?
Mm.
And that's the reason why Airbnb cannibalized a little bit part of our industry. It's because they were paying attention and they were part of the human potential movement. You know, because you want that. How do you create an environment where people feel and that's the next generation in service. And I was passionate about that too, so when I look at Lead by Passion, when I was 2018, 2019, what had happened for me too is that other peers were calling me. They were calling me because they were seeing the results. The first time happened with Zephyr, Hotel Zephyr. When I got to the hotel, we were on service scores, on TripAdvisor, we were 150, property 150 out of 250 hotels. And I moved within 90 days, the hotel was number 35. So people were calling me and they were like, how are you doing that? I'm doing that because I have a very creative mind, and I pay attention, and we are having fun. We are understanding what are we trying to do over here. And with my background in operations, I'm able to create an operations that is not going to cost you, but is going to have the highest impact. But then I have a team that is engaged in it. And the most important thing, Pierre, is we're having fun. You have to have fun. And I think you will remember that when you came to the hotel.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Meeting with you was always, I know that it will be about having a good time. And to be frank with you, we didn't talk too much about product, but you were efficient in what you were to do, and I didn't have to tell you too much because you know what you were doing.
Thank you. I had a vision, and I think that a lot of us, because it pains me too, and that's why I decided as well to get out of the corporate world at that point, was really precisely to help my peers, to help. I know what it is because I've been there, and I'm one of you. And not to come in as the typical consultant, what you might think in your mind is a consultant. I am a partner. And you just said it. You were my partner. And that's the way I see things. I see a partnership. When I grow, my team members grow, my owners grow, my guests grow, everybody grows. And that's the way I think we can create very long-term partnerships and relationships. So that's what I will encourage everybody to do. Look at you're coming back from COVID right now. Be very frank and very honest, and analyze. As a GM, as part of the EC committee, have these conversations. Analyze, where are my strengths? Where do I think that my team can execute or that I am great at, and where I'm not? And when I'm not, there's no ego here. Bring someone that has that. Because in 2 weeks, in 2 meetings, in a month, in whatever it is, working with that other partner will propel you and your team, in a tremendous manner. That's what I will ask and tell a lot of people. And then also understand that the future is about collaboration, cooperation, unity, and inclusion. Is no longer about competition in the manner that we have known it before. And the customer tomorrow, the customer is no longer the 70, 80 years old. The customer is going to be looking at your brand and your signature service and your property. Are you meaningful? Are you authentic? What are you trying and intending to say? And how your hotel and your service is expanding my lifestyle. If it's not, I will say you might capture short-term growth, but not long-term, because that is gone. It's I don't know how you feel, but
I'm taking notes. That's how I feel. I'm like, oh my God, this is good stuff. That's how I feel. No, this is good. This is good because, in my day-to-day, I see properties, so that resonates to me a lot because I can sense when a property, when it feels, there is some kind of energy you were referring to, and how it feels.
Yes.
I think guests will feel the same. And yeah, it's super interesting to see you're talking about authenticity, being meaningful, having a purpose, and it has to be clear, simple and clear, right? And that I think that's what a lot of hotels are trying to achieve today. And
and that's the thing. Sorry that I interrupted you, but that's the thing. Because because they are trying to go to an area where, I mean, it would be very hypocritical for me to say, oh, you can accomplish that immediately. I preface our conversation by saying I've spent 30 years doing this. For me, it's second nature, because this is what I do. So obviously for me, COVID, going into the fifth industrial revolution, and understanding that we need to operate from more an intuitive, creative, innovative side, that's my second nature. And that's why I thought I'm in a position where I can offer assistance, not only to individual people, to first-time GMs or long-term GMs that they had called me in the past because they were going through a renovation, and they were aware enough to say, Carmen, I don't know what the new people want now. I'm going through a renovation. Everything is so modern, but I'm not, I'm not that. I'm great with numbers. That's not a problem. And when I was a GM, I would just go and have lunch with you, have a coffee with you, and you will run through me the brand that you were trying to create, or what was your designer bringing to the hotel. And then I would give you my ideas, and I would say, okay, look at this and expand it. What is the designer intending to do, and let me help you with it. So then that's really the backbone of Lead by Passion. People were starting to call me. I had a lot of projects that allow me to understand that I was very creative, and then I had the operations background. So then I could control the cost, I could give you the money, and I could create the service. And then I thought, okay, I can offer something to the industry that can help us move forward, And then COVID happened, and then now I think it's imperative that, at least these conversations that we have them, and that you understand that the meaning, being socially aware and authentic in what you do, it's very important.
so, you've been in the industry for 30 years, and uh, how did it start? Why did you started to study in Barcelona hospitality and restoration? Could you tell us the root of your career? And did you know at the time that you will be working for 30 years in the hospitality industry? Did you have right away a sense you were like, oh my God, this is it, I'm going to love it? Can
Yes.
you tell us about the beginning of
Yes.
your
For me
career?
was vocational. For me was having as I said, for me, consciousness, understanding who I am, spirituality, and why am I here, was a question that I asked myself since I was a child. I had a very, very strong intuition, and I was very, very empathetic to the human being. So that brought me to start writing, because I wrote when I was a child, and then studying philosophy and the classics, and from Plato to a lot of different aspects. And then on the other side, I had a very strong curiosity, because my parents were entrepreneurs. I had a very witty and quick mind for business. So, when I understood that I was not going to be the princess of Spain, because, I understood that. Uh, our king, it's like a couple of years older than me, and he was so handsome. And I thought, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. It was not possible. Then I thought, actually, my family thought I was going to be a journalist or a lawyer. It was very interesting. So, I explore. And what I tell young people today is explore within your high school, within you explore the things that come innately to you, but also explores the things that make you happy, because that's the key. what makes you happy. For me, work has never been real work. Yes, we have headaches, hello, I've worked, we have a lot of us, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of, but if at the end of the day I can come home and say, man, this day was fulfilling, then I'm in flow, I'm in bliss, I'm in flow. So I explore, and then I decided, then I remember serendipity enough, and I think that there's no lack in life. Everything it's, is here for a reason. I watched when I was kind of like deciding, I went into public relations first, and then I did a year of public relations before I decided to go to college for hotel management. And as I was doing that, then the series Hotel came on. Hotel was here in San Francisco. And then watching that, then I really realized, oh my God, I'm her. That's what I like to do. I'm going to be with people all the time. I'm a people person. My product is going to be people. But my tools are going to be people. And this is what I love. I love other cultures. I love to travel, but I really, really have a sense I want to impact someone's life. So it was instant vocation for me. And then I went into hotel management, and yes, and I was immediately working. It was very, very rapidly happening, very rapidly for me. And then I went into the industry, and by 27 years old, I was already a senior executive. My career moved up like super quickly because of that angle. Then I decided to take a year and rethink, because obviously 27, you are already a senior director, an executive, part of the executive committee, making a lot of money. And then I thought, that's not what I'm here for. It was never about me. It was always about how can I give to others. And that's where I decided to take a year and come to the States. And what I thought it was going to be a relaxing year for Carmen, that meant that I went into Berkeley and I did a business program in Berkeley. And I didn't have enough money for it. Was a 9-month intensive, and I did it in 4. Because I didn't want to be out of the industry either for so long. And in Barcelona, same as in France, I think at the time, I was already part of the company. I was not in contract. I was already, they had given me like a lifelong, I was a part of them. So I came back, and then I decided that I wanted to come to the States and learn. And one of my dreams was, initial dreams was to work for Hilton. And then I came over here, and then I started, and then I built up my career again.
What did you have as a dream to work for Hilton?
It was, yes, I believe in, you got to vision things, and pay attention to the visions that come to you. So funny enough, when I was in Barcelona and in Europe at the time, Hilton meant 5 diamond. And it meant, it meant that culture of what hospitality was all about, like the Ritz-Carlton, Hilton at the time, and that's why for me, I thought, okay, I've started in 5 diamonds. I wanted to continue in the luxury environment, and that's why I always have thought that I wanted to work for Hilton. And funny enough, when I came over here, I thought, why not? Let me start, let me try to stay. I never intended to be here for 20 years. I thought, let me get a J1, let me learn from, the Americans, that they knew revenue management, that they knew yield management, as we call it at the time. And, they knew how to make money. And I wanted to learn. I've always been an avid learner. And I always say one thing as well, Pierre. I said, the day that I have no passion for what I do, or that I think I know it all, then I will leave, because then I'm not used to you. If I don't have passion, I cannot inspire you to be everything that you can be and create something spectacular for our owners and for our clients. And if I think that I know it all, then I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to pay attention. And then I'm not gonna allow you, I'm gonna go into a linear, as I call it, the linear growth, where you are just surviving, but you're not thriving. And that has always moved me. So every 10 years or so, I have stepped away uh, to do something that I'm passionate about, and then come back to the industry renewed to continue disrupting, innovating, pushing forward. That's what I'm doing now. Tomorrow I might come back full time. I might come back full time. But right now, I think I can be of better serve for my evolution and the evolution of the industry, doing this.
Wow. I love what you just said. Surviving, but not thriving.
Yeah.
This is good because that's, I think, a lot of people during COVID put this back in the center of what they went through to say, okay, what am I doing today? Am I just, doing this to survive, or is it really what I want to do? So we see a lot of changes in the hospitality field where people are changing careers right now. Which is,
You gotta think that, and I've always been very, very, I have always followed precisely that. I have followed my passion, I follow my heart. And with that, because you've seen us, you know a lot of us because you're in our properties all the time. If we have like at the Hilton, I had like 1,000 employees at a time, and in every single chef over 100, and then in a smaller property you have less. But whatever amount of people you have, on a leadership standpoint of view, from a director to a general manager to a manager that is at the line level with the team, you gotta infuse. You cannot give what you do not have yourself.
mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the energy and the strength to pick another person up, to
Yeah,
show them
true.
that is
Mm-hmm.
possible, then how are you gonna do it? You cannot do it. You cannot do it, especially because, yet again, I'm very aware and empathetic and compassionate for everything that we go through as GMs. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure at a lot of levels. And if you don't take a time to really be on this state, you cannot do it, in my opinion.
Sorry, I'm going to move back a little bit.
Yeah,
No, that's good.
talk, you know, or I hope I'm giving you something that it's interesting.
It's very good. No, it's very good. I mean, I think people are going to learn so much from it. But you said that you when you came to the US to UC Berkeley
Yeah,
for this program,
yeah,
you thought that you will be working in the US for only a few years and then
yeah,
go.
yeah.
What made you stay?
What made me stay is that I was still learning and having fun. And I fell in love with San Francisco. I really fell in love. I always, when people ask me, why do you live here? Well, obviously, and my family too, we've been very blessed. We've traveled a lot. And when they came they live in Tiburon, and when they came here, they said, we get it, Carmen, if you're not going to live in Barcelona, San Francisco. But to me, San Francisco was a double thing. I fell in love with the city, with the culture, but it was the open-mindedness. It was an open mind community. And obviously, as I said, yet again, as, being in the human potential movement, this was it. Everything was happening over here. I had access to anything, the latest and greatest in, in human heart, brain, potential, quantum, everything was happening here. So I had no reason why to leave, because I had, the two best worlds, the hotel world and then the human potential world.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a very technical question. I hope it's going to be I talk to a lot of properties, and digital marketing seems to be very big now. Everything, like right now we're doing Zoom, all those new tools and everything becoming a lot more less touchless, and you're talking about creating relationship, knowing your guest. How does this work with technology coming, trying to fill up that gap where we can't meet, but we still need human touch and human, and you're the perfect example of this, because
Yeah.
you're very good with human.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does this work? What do you think, how it's going to work out with digital and human needing to see each other? What do you think the future could be?
I like to call it intentional technology, and that's where, you know, I always say technology should not be used to take away from the human experience, but to enhance the human experience. And that's where I think, you know, we went wrong a little bit, you know, for a while in the industry. When I say that we spend our capital resources were spent on all these CRM systems and all these technology system, revenue management systems, all of that. That's part of it. I say use technology to get informed about what's happening in terms of when we look at marketing, when we look at social media marketing and the tools that you know, our marketing sales teams and revenue teams are using. Those tools are very, very needed and very strategic, because you're going to be able to really, really assess what's happening. But from the guest service standpoint of view, and from the hotel in general standpoint of view, is guest service. What we do when you go to a hotel, you want service. How did I use technology in the past? Back in 2017, I can give you an example, because I think that this one is very easy for everybody to understand, and it coincides with, you know, now can be used for COVID. 2018, I think it was 17, I partnered with Tesla, one of the first hotels in the Bay Area. We got Tesla as our house car. I did virtual check-ins. There was no COVID. It was part of the DNA of the property. I wanted to merge technology, because we're in the Bay Area, technology with the history of the property. That was part of the DNA. So we were always looking for advanced technology and how to use it in a way that's fun for our guest. Today, if you have a Tesla car, you can totally use it because you need that non-interaction. But again, you know, I was already using it in 2017. You know, 2019, when we're talking about this wellness program, it was a very, very strong component on technology. Okay, well, I brought the first smart beds into the industry with Ada Sleep. Ada Sleep was actually won an award in 2018 and 2019 as the most innovative company that there is. And how did I know about them? Because I'm part of the human potential and human and well-being. I already knew that sleep fitness, if you don't sleep, you are not at your peak performance. So that brought me to that. So adding that technology to the room, it's giving something that was very unique, very different, but it was enhancing the experience, not taking away from the experience. Utilizing AI. You know, I partnered with GetV. It was the first AI trainer in your ear. That's another component. You know, meditation, the Muse headbands, you know, and things like that. That's what I'm talking about. Understand what's happening, what people are using, and then don't use technology to change it for a person, but to enhance the experience of the person. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Did I give you an example? COVID, now it's a must, you know. With COVID, it's a must. You know, how are we reevaluating the customer experience in the room, not outside the room, but in the room, when you cannot have people in the lobby, for example? You know, those are the conversations that if I would have still be in the hotel, I would be having.
Hmm.
Now, I'm with Saudi Arabia market and with Yakun, we're looking at a completely different at the next stage. We're looking
Mhm.
at 2030. We're looking already at the next stages of hospitality. That's why I'm involved with that company, and with the country, because they are moving to green technologies, to the well-being of people, which is going to come to our workspaces. If your team, if your managers, if the people that are working for you are not in peak performance, if they are not whole and feeling well and excited, they cannot create. A mind cannot create unless you are in a space where.
So do you think I'm just giving a very practical example here, but we've heard of Peloton, the Peloton bikes that a lot of people have in their house, and now we see some hotels. I was just in Napa Valley where they have those Peloton bikes in their hotel for people who have that experience at home to have it in the properties. Is that something that is when you talk about wellness and technology and everything, would that be an example of what that is? Or
That is just one example, but that I call it very very traditional wellness, which it was another another problem. The reason why the wellness experience at Casa was so innovative and caught so much attention, it is precisely because the intention is don't go traditional. That's all news. That's what you surprise people when you are really authentic. And how did we make that authentic? I partner with local companies like Urban Remedy. You might have heard of them. Plant-based. Why did I do that? Because that's what people are really looking for. Think about your experience in service, and all the components, because that's what people are going to be looking for. The Peloton, it's a given right now. That you have a fitness center is a given. That's a fitness for the body. Is a little bit already old. What people are moving towards, it's mind, body, and soul. And that's when we're talking about the wellness industry. And when I'm talking about the wellness industry being a $4 trillion, where the US wellness environment, it's over $59 billion. What I'm telling all of us that we are in the industry, it's guys, that is the next stage. And why is that? Is because people more and more, they are looking for that well-being, and COVID has brought that for a lot of people. You want to feel whole, and so when you are looking at that the wellness experience, that's why people say wellness is just a buzzword that a lot of people don't understand, because if you don't really live it, you are going to think that you have enough spending on the Peloton. But then I would encourage, and everybody knows what I'm talking about over here, when we're looking at the experience, the service experience and the journey. If you are creating something in wellness, think about the whole, not only just someone getting into the room and finding a Peloton, because that alone is not going to bring you, newsflash, it's not going to bring you the ADR growth, because that's just going to be expected. I mean, if you don't have those things, you're going to be behind. You gotta think about, how do I utilize how can I increase? That's why I talk about going back to the beginning, transforming leaders, increasing performance. You can do that as you are fulfilling your guest and your team members' needs. If you don't do that, you are behind.
So all, hey,
Oh
I
my,
tell you,
I gave
Carmen, look at all those notes. I have a lot of notes.
good thing.
So you're coming out with a book, right? You're writing a book. Could you tell us when that will come out and how you think could people have access to it? I mean, that, obviously they can email me and I will be more than happy to let them know where they could get it. But do you know when and where they could get it?
Yes, well, that has been something that I tell you, I did, it was one of the intentions as well, what I left, because I wanted to have more time to do other things that I loved about. A book is a big undertaking, and but yeah, I'm working on a book. I'm doing a business venture as well. I'm coming with a platform, with some creative people as well. But I think that I'll probably have that by next year. I would say is very safe. And it's really about what I see about the future of leadership as we change, how leadership is changing. And yeah, it's actually the future that I see for the CEOs as well.
Got it.
So
Well, I'm still writing things. You see, I keep on writing.
yeah, and that is actually, is based on the methodology that that I as I consult, as I partner, with people that I bring forward. Is the has a methodology with it, and the methodology to stop linear growth and go into exponential growth. And and how can you do that? And now I have a little bit of proof of concept to be able to help others. Yeah.
So, Carmen, we are hitting the hour, and I like to finish our interview with asking you already, what is your favorite place to eat in the Bay Area? If you have family coming to town or friends coming to town, where would you bring them to eat?
So many.
No.
There's I'm a foodie, of course, being from Spain too.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out as probably everybody's talking about San Francisco. As I live in Tiburon,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give a shout out to a couple of restaurants over here.
Sure.
Well, Mill Valley has La Playa. La Playa is a great, very elevated and upscale Mexican take.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fresh, very good. Sushi Run. Sushi Run in Sausalito, best sushi. Well, he has a lot of awards, and he has another restaurant in the city. And then in the city, when I go to the city, I go to La Mar for sure.
Ah, yeah.
I
Peruvian.
go to La Mar.
Pisco sour.
Huh?
The pisco sour.
Sour. Oh my God. Yes. 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 I have to. Yeah, I have to do that. So,
What's your favorite place to go in the Bay Area? What is your to-go place when you need to take a break? Or, where do you like to take off and breathe?
well, I mean, one of the great things about living in the Marin County is that it really feels, it really feels like you're on vacation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great for me because when I work in the city, I've been living in the Marin County for a lot of years. And that's what I found, that capability of being with a lot of energy and people, and then coming in your house when you are like in a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very blessed to have the bay down here. So just going by the water, I need to have the water. Barcelona, we grow with the water.
Mm-hmm.
I see the water from the bedroom in my house.
Mm-hmm.
So the water always calms me down and it opens my creativity a lot. So I try to be in nature, constantly. And
Just like
the city does that.
Well, hey Carmen, I want to thank you for everything you told us today, because there are so many good things that I think that people can relate to. So that's very good. If people want to get a hold of you, they should check your website, leadbypassion.com, correct?
Yeah, leadbypassion.com, or message me through LinkedIn. My information, is there as well. And for anything, you just wanna, call me for something, and I'm available and ready to chat with all of you.
Very good. So listen, we're going to part ways. Thank you for being part of where it is check-in. Casual conversation with hospitality leaders.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Final words for everybody, Carmen, before we go. A few words for people watching us. What do you want to tell them?
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I hope that what I gave you today touch you, inspire you, open the window. At some point, I hope I was able to do that for you. And don't forget, inspire, co-create, evolve, and express, and remember that you are unique, that you have a genius inside of you, and that you are here to find your gift and give it away. That's what it is. So enjoy your day. I think we have learned all through COVID that time is very precious, and so be mindful of every moment and have fun.
Very good. Well, those are good words and very positive. And Carmen, keep your passion and your dedication for our industry.
Thank you, Pierre. And thank you for what you are doing. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Well, welcome. Thank you, Carmen.
Bye.
Au revoir. Ciao, ciao. Arrivederci. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego. Bye-bye.
Bye.